So hopefully you've finished writing all these out over here, and this is going to be the end result. Again, the Ag is going to switch places with the Na is going to switch places with the Ag. In a double replacement reaction, your first or your positive ions are going to be switching with each other. So what happens when the Ag kicks out the Na? You're going to form the compound AgCl, and that's silver chloride. This is actually the white solid that we find in the well that we saw from the experiment. So if the Na goes in and it kicks out the Ag, what compound is going to be formed? Just substitute or replace the Na for the Ag, and you're going to get NaNO3, sodium nitrate. This actually is soluble or dissolves in water, so this stays dissolved and this produces the white solid. Let's take a look at the next one. What we have is the barium is going to switch places with the copper, and the copper is going to switch places with the barium. So the barium kicks out the copper, the Cu, and it forms Ba and SO4. The copper is going to kick out the barium and switch places because it's a double replacement reaction, and we're going to end up with Cu coming in for the Ba, so it's going to be CuCl2. The last reaction, once again, these are going to be switching places with each other. This is a little bit more complex, and this is more on the level of chemistry, but we're going to walk through this anyway. If we have an Ag that comes in and kicks out the Cu, you'd think that we would form AgSO4. If the copper comes in to kick out the Ag, you'd think that we would form CuNO3. So for purposes of that we're not going to go through in this class, actually there are some subscripts that are needed for this, and it forms copper nitrate, but copper nitrate actually has an extra substrate underneath it right there. And the Ag also has an extra subscript underneath it right there. So here's the solid that forms, here's the solid that forms, and here's the solid that forms as well. These are all the solids that formed and were produced in the reaction. So it's coming down to the question, why did we not form a solid in the last one? Well, this is the reason why. Let's go ahead and take a look at the two that we're starting with. We're starting off with barium chloride, BaCl2. And we're combining this with NaCl. Well, let's switch the Ba and the Na and see what compounds that we form. We're going to kick out the Na, we're going to form BaCl2. And if we take the Na and kick out the Ba, we form NaNCl, which forms NaCl. Does that look familiar? It's actually what we started with. And so with this, there's not going to be a double replacement reaction because we're going to end up what we started with. So this is the one that produced no reaction, and that's why this fourth well did not produce a solid like the other three did. So the main point to get from this double replacement reaction is that we get this switching of the first element in a compound. Here's the first element, here's the first element. Those are going to switch places, and it's going to form these two new compounds. One of them is going to be a solid, and the other one's going to be dissolved.